Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I'm checking out the much anticipated, highly requested foundation from Lawless. This is the Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation. Retails for $43 for 1 ounce or 30 milliliters of product. Comes in 33 shades, if I can count correctly. I've got it in the shade 4L, which is described as light with neutral undertones. I usually go with the lightest of the light shades instead of the darkest of the fair shades for my summertime, most of the year colors, but I usually can go a shade lighter than this. This is clean. It's Sephora, long-wearing, good for anti-aging, full coverage, hyaluronic acid, natural finish. Let's take a look at their description. A weightless, full coverage, non-acnogenic foundation that instantly blurs and smooths for a second skin finish, proven to reduce the look of fine lines and improve skin elasticity over time. I like it. Natural finish, full coverage. Maxi Youth is a powerful, science-backed skin smoothing complex obtained from the fermentation of biomimetic hyaluronic acid. That sounds fancy. Vitamin E, antioxidant, glycerin, triglyceride blend, very good for moisture and strengthening the skin barrier. This is vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty-free. It does have denatured alcohol pretty high up in the ingredient list. I'm guessing it's falling in the 1 to 3% range. I don't think it's below the 1% line, so that's more than I like to see. However, they have a lot of hydrating ingredients in the beginning of the ingredient list, and the drying alcohols aren't necessarily drying if the formula has enough balance of hydration in it to counteract any additional drying from the alcohols. And the alcohols, when they're not there as a filler, they're there with a purpose, which is usually to aid in the dry down of the product on your skin so that you're not tacky for 20 minutes waiting for it to dry down. So we'll see if this has been formulated well enough to survive the dehydrated and chronically dry skin that I have. Let's take a look at shade 4L, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Lawless, the Forget the Filler foundation in shade light neutral. Very dark for the lightest light shade in my opinion. Second I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 50-year-old face. I have primed with my Geek Out of Water Blue Tansy Primer. And let me get my little butterfly palette. We will take a look at the shade consistency on this one. Not the shade consistency, just the consistency. That's probably going to be more than I need, but there we go. I am enjoying this slow drip. Somehow that's very soothing to me. I don't know why. This might be darker than I anticipated. That's fun. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a little dark for me. A little dark. Which this is the lightest of the light shades, so I'm kind of surprised. I forgot to show you. I will go in on one side of my face with a damp sponge. Other side I'm going to use my It Cosmetics. This is the Airbrush 115, I think the number is. I will double check that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We'll do the sponge first. I'm surprised how dark this is for a shade that is the lightest of the light shades, actually. But we'll make it work. We will make it work. This is probably my self-tanner shade. Yeah, this is my tanner shade. I'm just looking at how pale my ear looks in comparison to my face. It's all good. Every year I say I'm going to do self-tanner, and then last year I did not do it a single time. Even though I bought brand new self-tanner, never used it. Alright, with a sponge I would call this light coverage, blended out quite easily. Definitely darker on the shade for me though. I am going to be wearing concealer today. I'm going to film it as well. It's the new It Cosmetics. So I did not take this all the way, like intentionally up under my eyes. But I can still see my sunspots poking through, so I'd say light coverage with the sponge. Let's try the brush side. This is also leaning, I would say, slightly on the warmer side, considering it's described as neutral. But it feels to be a little bit on the warmer side of the fence, which that's fairly common with neutral shades. I rarely find neutrals that I think are truly neutral, but maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me being a cool-toned snob. Technically, my skin is neutral, but in the winter when I'm palest of the pale, it leans like one step into the cool territory. I prefer the look of cool on me, though I can wear cool, neutral, or warm because I'm neutral, but I like cool tone the best. Yeah, I just feel like this has just got a sort of an apricot tinge to it, which typically is more warm. Peachy is more cool. And I know peach and apricot, what's the difference, right? Yeah, there's a little bit better coverage with the brush. So if you're going for coverage, the brush might be the way to go. They say this is full coverage. I am going to try and build it up a little bit. My gut feeling is that it's not going to get to what I would call full coverage, but let's see how it builds. Get the sunspots, the blue blood vessel here, my chin, which likes to become red. Make sure I got the nostrils, which is a pointless endeavor in this allergy season, but I do it anyway, so at least I look good for 5 minutes. I'm going to use the brush to blend this out, but I think you could use brush or sponge, whatever your preference is. They both look nice. It's just that there's a little bit more coverage sticking around with the brush. All right, blue blood vessel. Oh, you vanished pretty nicely. I still see it just a little bit, but it vanished pretty well. Can still see a little bit of my sunspots, but they are pretty well covered. I would say this is a solid medium coverage. Like it's encroaching on full coverage, but I wouldn't say it's quite all the way there. I do think I'm gonna take, just because the shade is a little dark on me, I'm gonna take it a little bit more intentionally down my neck. I usually don't bother with this, but since the shade is a little bit dark, it is kind of obvious how dark it is. So this would be a day when I would do bronzer on my jawline, down my neck a little bit, just to try and blend, blend, blend. Because really, the joy of having tattoos all over my arms is that my arms don't call out my skin tone as easily. Like, the mismatch won't be as obvious unless I stick my hand right next to my face. Yikes. But, it's a beautiful shade. Like, I feel like the shade does work for me. I can wear this shade. It's just the shade of me when I'm self-tanning. Not me when I haven't seen the sun yet this year. Although I'm filming this on an 80-degree day. It was 40 degrees like 2 days ago, and now it's 80. So this weather does not know what it's doing. Okay, now that I'm looking at this in the mirror, regardless of the shade difference, holy cow, I can't even see my pores. Like, oh. See, that's the thing that Lawless is so good at. The line blurring, the smoothing. They do it in their lip glosses. They do it with the lotion that they have, the face moisturizer. I was hoping they would do it with the foundation because they kept it in the same, product line. But, sometimes brands will keep things in a popular product line even if the product itself doesn't quite live up to the previously released products in that line. I mean, all right, let's zoom in so you guys can see what I am looking at. I can barely even tell that I have pores. Like, that is some seriously good pore blurring. It's also smoothing to texture. I can barely see the sun-damaged texture on that side of my face. Very nicely smoothing. Like, that is nice. Even my nose looks smooth, and if you've been around here for a minute, that my nose rarely looks great. It's usually looks okay, but not good or great. And I would say this is looking very nice on my nose. It's not clinging in between my eyebrows. It's not clinging to my forehead. It's not settling into my lines. Yeah, this is quite smooth. It makes me want to get out and do a half and half face with my Guerlain, because the Guerlain Terracotta is the smoothest foundation I've ever tried. It is one of my favorites. It's one of only 2 foundations that have ever scored perfect scores. The NARS Radiant Light Reflecting Concealer Foundation and the Guerlain Terracotta. This is super smooth. If this holds up smoothness like this, I like me some smooth. Let's just say I like me some smooth. Little concerned it's going to end up being drying on me. We will find out. It's not always the case with, you got to just see how the formulation, you can guess from the ingredients, which I'm guessing this one's going to be okay because it has a lot of hydrating stuff high up in the ingredient list, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Let's see what time it is. The time is 1:55 in the PM. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the Lawless foundation. Did not set this with powder. Nothing moved around. Had no trouble blending anything. The only issue I'm having is the shade, and that was my choice. So, and it's not a bad shade for me. It's just too dark if I'm not self-tanning. On the rest of my face, I am trying the IT Cosmetics Do It All Concealer. This is their Radiant Concealer, their Multivitamin Serum Concealer. And I have a review of this. If you missed it, check it out. It was right before this video. And so far so good on that. That is my concealer. I'm trying out some new stuff that I got in the Sephora sale. So I am wearing the Fenty Beauty Cream. This is their bronzer, but in the shade Amber. I'm wearing it as contour. And I've been asking you guys for years to give me contour suggestions, and I've just never bought any of them. So this is one that a lot of people have recommended, the Fenty Cream Bronzer in shade 1 Amber. And I think it is beautiful for contour for fair skin. Perfect. Good recommendation. Thank you very much. I also bought a few others that I'm going to try. I'm not trying them right now, obviously. I'm trying to grab them so I can show you. Reddit said that the contour stick from Sephora is a good one. The Milk Makeup in Toasted was also a good recommendation, but a lot of reviews said that the packaging was finicky, so I went for the Fenty instead of the Milk. And then I also got a Sephora powder one, and, we'll try them. We'll see how they go. Contours tend to go too warm-toned on fair skin. So, but I think the Fenty is a winner, so bravo there. My blush, kicking it old school, my Lawless Juicy Watermelon. This thing, was it last summer or the summer before this that this thing came out? Because I'm nowhere near hitting pan on this. And I've had it forever, and I wear it a ton because it is my favorite powder blush. And so that was bronzer. That was my blush. That was, bronzer, I didn't even say. Cabana Club from Polite Society. I'm wearing the shade Palm Royale with a light hand because this is one of the deeper shades, but I like the more red undertone, and especially I think I could have gone with their darkest shade. Copacabana has the most red undertone of the 4 shades that they came out with. And I probably could have done it since my foundation is so dark today, but I didn't, and I wish I did, but I didn't. But this one still looks good, so I like the formula. Very smooth. It's very much lightweight the way that the powder blush sticks are. So it's a similar skin look, skin feel as far as the weight and the texture of the powder. So that's that. My eyes are the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I figured I'd go neutral on the eyes because I was going to wear a red lip, and then I changed my mind, and I just went all neutral. So where's my Aldi fans out there? The Aldi Isle of Shame. If you are not in the habit of going to your local Aldi on Wednesdays to pick up their new drops, anything makeup, the Lacura brand, goes out of stock very, very, very fast. And the thing with the Isle of Shame is, like, they just stock these things for a week and they're gone. So it's you gotta get it while it's there. And they came out with some lip kits, and I got the red one. So I went on Wednesday, the day they dropped. I went after work, and they were already sold out of one of the lip kits, but because I think there's a pink one. I got the red and I got the nude. I'm wearing the nude right now. It comes with a liquid lip and a lip liner. These don't seem to match to me. The lip liner is much more peachy and light, and then the liquid lip is a more neutral nude, almost cool toned, which I really love this shade. We're going to see if it completely dries me out. I've read that they wear really well. I also opened the liner and the tip was busted off into the cap, so I had to sharpen it immediately, so that's a bummer. But like, these are like $5. So when you can get a good dupe at Aldi, it's not a bad deal most of the time. I love their dupe for the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I think it's spot on. It's very heavily scented, but so is the original. So, and they smell the same to me. So anyway, go to Aldi if you like if you like the thrill of the hunt, if you like the, limited edition stuff. Likely it'll all come back a year from now. Like they do a lot of the same launches every year. But they also had some liquid blushes and some liquid highlights, and I picked them up. I haven't tried them yet, but they might be sold out by the time you see this. So check them if you can. But that's my lip. I'm also trying from the Sephora sale, and let me check my brow. Oh my God. So I looked up how to say this. People say it all different ways. And now I already forgot. Refi? No, it wasn't Refi. Refi or refi are the two ways I've heard people saying it on YouTube. So I'm not sure. I've never tried anything else from this brand, but this is their brow. What is the name of it? Sherlock, where did you go? This is their brow sculpt. And when I applied this, this is my brow that does not cooperate. I have this little like divot of hair that won't stay up and it falls down. And when I applied it, I did not have to hold my brows up to keep them up. You know how I usually have to wait for it to dry a little bit so that they don't fall immediately down in that spot. It's still up. Did I just find my holy grail brow product? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll take a look at it tonight. My rabbit headband ruined my bangs, so now they're a hot mess. I don't know what they're doing. My mascara is the Lawless One and Done, one of my all-time favorite mascaras. What else makeup is on my face? I think that's everything. So we're going to see how this lip wears. I've read a lot of people posting that it wears all day through food and everything. Matte liquid lips tend to dry me out like crazy, so I don't wear them very often, but I had to buy them. I mean, I'm obsessed with Aldi's Isle of Shame. I have a problem, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I admit it, I have a problem. So I had to buy them. And yeah, so we're going to go about the day here. It's like sunny, then cloudy, then sunny, then cloudy. It's like 80 degrees outside. Beautiful, beautiful day. I'm very, very happy. So I will do a daylight check-in in a bit, and then I will come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. 4:36 p.m., a couple hours in, and I just put lotion on my hands. I'm trying not to drop my phone. It is sliding off my fingers. Here is where we are at. Couple hours in, everything looks good. Still looking smooth. Definitely on. Honestly, yeah, this is my self-tan shade. Yeah, there's my ears. I mean, if you don't see my ears, you can't tell so much that it's too dark, but yeah. Oh, but look how smooth. It is smooth, y'all. So that's where we're at. A few more hours. I'll come back tonight. We'll wrap this one up. 10:27 p.m. That puts us right around the 8.5 hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Lawless Forget the Filler foundation held up. It held up really well. I'm so sad that I got a shade that is too dark. I'll keep it because I can wear it when I'm self-tanning, and I do think I will probably be buying a lighter shade. If that's foreshadowing to the grade, well, let's talk about it. So, comfortable, didn't move around, hasn't settled into lines. That's Ziva's tail. She's hanging out behind me. Doesn't feel dry. That was one thing I was just curious about. The formula looked like it was going to hold up fine for having SD alcohol, and it seems to have. I will say I will wear this foundation multiple days in a row to just make sure it doesn't dry me out, and if I have any updates on that front, I will put them here. So if you don't see anything here, that means everything was a-okay in between me filming this today, and it'll be about a week from now when you guys see it. So yeah, if you don't see anything on the screen, then everything stayed a-okay and did not dry me out over time. I don't think it will. The formula ingredient wise looks like it's got plenty to balance out the dryness of any SD alcohol. So I'm not concerned about that. Let's zoom in so you guys can see what I'm looking at. It still looks nice on everywhere, basically. I still cannot believe how well this blurs pores. And I would say I might even like the finish even more as the day went on. And I liked it to begin with. So it hasn't moved around. It's not settling into any lines, deep or shallow. It's not settling into any of them. It didn't cake up between my eyebrows. It didn't move around. Everything's fine. In fact, I think it probably has a couple more hours of life left in it. So I feel like this is the kind of foundation I could probably wear for 10 to 12 hours without a problem at all. And that's good. I like that. That is nice. So I'm a fan. I am liking this one. I will also say my eyebrows did not fall down. So yeah, bravo. Refi? I can't remember how to say this, and I'm not even sure that anyone I looked up was saying it properly to begin with, but that brow stuff might be my new favorite. Also, I'm very pleased with how well the Aldi Lip Kit held up. It's going to dry the heck out of my lips. I can tell I'm probably not going to be liking my life tomorrow, but as is matte liquid lips. Of course, it's all gone in the middle. I won't describe that, but because you know how that's typically described. But it held up pretty well. I had ravioli for lunch and I had pizza for dinner. And I ate yogurt with a spoon earlier, so that held up pretty well, I would say. But back to the Lawless. If I were to give a grade to the Lawless Forget the Filler foundation, I'm gonna put it one step below my beloved NARS and Guerlain. So we're talking like 98, 99% A, definitely an A, a very high A. It's just a smidge less smoothing, just a smidge less favorite in the finish. It's really nice though. Like, when we are that high up in the atmosphere of grades on a foundation. Like, you kind of can't go wrong. Oh, I'm bummed that the shade is as dark as it is, though. This is the lightest light shade, and it really is dark for me. I'm just really surprised at how dark this shade is. But I'm going to make it work. I'm probably going to buy a lighter shade as well. You know, if it was the wrong undertone or something, like, and it was too dark, if I wasn't going to be able to wear it, then I would return it. But I'm going to be able to wear it. Maybe it'll make me self-tan. I like self-tanning. I get lazy, and then I don't do it. And that's all there is to that. So, yeah, we're going to go A for the Lawless. Of course they did a good job. Of course they did. Of course they did. I like it. It's lovely. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments. What should I pick up next? I probably won't pick anything up for a minute just because I have a handful of things I need to go through, some of which I got in the Sephora sale. Let's see, what do we have foundation wise? So this is not the Sephora sale, but I've got the Versed, and I've got their concealer as well. I got the Milk Hydro, the Hydro Grip Gel Tint. I got the Makeup Forever Super Boost, what is it? Moisture Boosting Skin Tint is the name of that one. I got the Kosas Dream Beam Comfy Smooth Sunscreen. It's like a tinted sunscreen. Why is that thing focused on my ear? I don't know what the camera's doing right now. What is this? I also have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Foundation Balm. And I thought I had one. Oh yeah, I thought I had one more. The Hourglass. This is the Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation. So I have a bunch of foundations coming for y'all. They're all right here. And yeah, but let me know, of those, what do you want to see first? Of other ones, what would you like me to add to my list? I keep a running list. I buy stuff all the time. Let me know what you would like to see in the comments down below. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.